Matt Taylor joining us now. How are you, sir? How's your week going? A little cold out there.
Week has been absolutely insane due to the fact that you're playing 2 games in 5 days. So it's been
rough.
a lot of late nights and long days. And I'm currently talking to you right now from a hotel room in Denver at 6 whatever in the morning, and just woke up. So trying to get the day started.
Well, man, I'm glad that you were kind enough to get up this early for us. Hate that if I'd have known that, I'd have sent you breakfast. I'd had breakfast waiting for you at your door.
Yeah, where's the eggs Benedict there, Jim? Come on.
Buddy, had I known, I promise you, it would have been at your door. It would have been, have you seen watched the Winning Time yet?
Is that
the LA Lakers thing?
Oh, no, I have not seen that.
Oh, dude, you have got to watch that. It is incredibly good. So I'm not ruining anything, but there is one part where Magic is Kareem's guy. He's got to bring him. He's the rookie. So Kareem tells him every day at 6 a.m., I need the newspaper and fresh orange juice at my door. It's funny because he does it every day, and he leaves the orange juice. He never likes it. He can't. And it just drives Magic insane. But yeah, it's those good old days of getting those guys. I hate I forget where I was going with that, but what were we talking about to start that damn conversation?
I don't know.
Well, I can.
Oh no, I know what. Had I known, I would have had the coffee and your breakfast and the orange juice at your door and the paper at your door at that time. 6 a.m. is when it had to be. I would have had it there waiting for you. So I'm gonna have to get Matt's schedule, and he's on the road. Make sure he's taken care of.
yeah, because I'm not taken care of enough. You kidding me? Life is good. No problems here, brother. I appreciate you.
Well, I know. Well, but when you do get down here, I'm going to get you some of these great steaks from BB's, man.
I will take you up on that.
Are you a griller?
I pretend to be.
Well, yeah, all of us pretend to be, as I guess. But it makes it a lot easier when you got great stuff to start with.
No doubt.
But yeah, I'll set you up there. You talk about that short turnaround, and how is that for you? I mean, I know how it is, but talk about the difficulties and the things as a broadcaster that you have to do with that short turnaround, because so much work goes in to every game, because it's not just memorizing names, people. It's statistics, it's trends, it's the coaches, it's the opposing players where they are now, because you could have studied them 2 months ago, and well, that's changed now. The season's already underway.
Sure.
How difficult is it for you to have to make that quick turnaround? I'm not comparing it to the team, but it's a tough deal.
Well, I mean, listen, it's all about perspective, right? I mean, essentially you're trying to do 6 days worth of work and preparation into about 2.5, 3. And really you've got today to, right. You've got, most of the morning and the afternoon to continue to work and get ready for the game, because it's a night game tonight. But yeah, it's about knowing what's important for the game that day. And you do have to know the roster. You've got to memorize the players' names and numbers and colleges, but you have to know what I always say. You have to know, who is important today. Why does this matter today? And you have to know those storylines, and you have to know, those numbers, if you will. So it's just all about like your preparation materials, that you can spend time on throughout the course of a week. You've got to get all that done in half the time. And that takes time. And, I'm a very, diligent and thorough, game preparer, if you will. And so like I said, it just makes for a lot of late nights and long days, because there's just not enough hours in the day, 9 to 5, if you will, to get everything done. Plus we're still doing the same amount of content for the broadcast, with the pregame shows and the weekly shows. We still had a Monday show, a Tuesday show, a Wednesday show. So those things didn't go away on a short week. So it's just balancing time. It's just budgeting your time. You've got to be, a real pro as far as that, because this game matters just like all the other ones, but it comes much quicker than a Sunday game, Sunday to Sunday game. That being said, it's, like I said, it's my homework is different than, other people's homework. So it's really a labor of love. I don't complain about it. It's tough, but I've been through it plenty of times before. You just have, it's coming, right? It's coming. And actually, like the 2 or 3 weeks before this Thursday night game, I'll start asking myself, at the end of the day, what did I do today to help myself for Thursday night football? Because you've got to get ahead of it. If you're not ahead of it, man, then you're really sunk. So, this is my 11th year getting ready for a Thursday night game. So you sort of know what's coming. You build a rhythm, you build a routine, and those things sort of help get you through it.
One thing, go ahead, Dustin.
Well, I was going to ask, about tonight's game, Matt. You go back a couple years, and I think if you would have seen a quarterback matchup between Matt Ryan and Russell Wilson, you would have expected somewhat of a shootout. But these are two teams right now that through the first 4 games really struggling offensively. I mean, do you think there's an adjustment period with both Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, new teams, or what have you seen that both these offenses are struggling so far early in the season?
Yeah, that's a great point. And yeah, if you would have said, hey, we're going to see Russell Wilson and Matt Ryan, you say, oh, this is probably like a NFC divisional game between the Falcons and the Seahawks, and now they're Broncos and Colts. So that in and of itself is a little bit bizarre. But you're talking about 2 of the most prolific quarterbacks of the last 10 plus years, and to see these offenses struggling the way that they are, the Colts averaging 14 points per game and the Broncos scoring just under 17 points per game. With these quarterbacks, it doesn't matter who's around them. These are the types of guys that can lift people up and still score a lot of points. So it is weird. It is unique to see, these players in this situation. And I think, yeah, you're talking about new teams, new situations, changing franchises after 10 plus years with their respective organizations in the NFC, now in the AFC, and a lot of injuries around them, at least going into this game. You talk about Thursday night, injuries are always a storyline going into any short week. And that's definitely the case this time with Javonte Williams being out. Randy Gregory is out on their defense. He's a Hamilton Southeastern product locally in Indianapolis. And then for the Colts, Jonathan Taylor's not going to play. Yep. This is his first career game that he has missed due to injury, probably dating back to like Pop
high
Warner.
School. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if you go back and factor in Wisconsin and the NFL, those are the things that we can, definitively track in terms of games played. This is a streak of at least 74 games that he has played and has remained durable. And
not only that, that at Wisconsin, he carried the load a lot.
Oh, he had over 600 carries at Wisconsin. And then, with the Colts last year, 300 carries, and just has remained so durable. And quite frankly, I think the only reason he's not playing tonight is because it's a short week. I think if this were a Sunday game, he'd have enough time to get back and get right and get healthy. So that's what's unfortunate. So storyline going into this game is the Colts haven't been able to run the ball. And it's so bizarre because of Taylor, because of their offensive line. Why are they not able to get the push up front? Why are they not able to scheme up Jonathan Taylor? And he's not playing in this game. So then who do the Colts turn to if they need to run the ball in situational instances? Is it going to be Deion Jackson, who's a second-year player at a Duke, or the Colts could go for like the movie script line and bring up Phillip Lindsay, who's off the practice squad, who I should say is still on the practice squad. I think the Colts have until about 4 o'clock this afternoon Eastern time to make that move and bring him up. And, of course, we all know his story, right? The Denver native, went to high school out here, played at Colorado, undrafted free agent for the Broncos, and just sets the world on fire his first 2 years. 1,000-yard rusher in 18 and 19, first undrafted rookie free agent ever to make the Pro Bowl, he could come up and try to, burn his former team in his hometown here. So we'll see if that's the direction that the Colts go. But they've got to find a spark in the running game, because it's just it's unacceptable the way they've been able to run the ball, or lack thereof, considering all of the resources they have up front, and Jonathan Taylor returning after 1,800 yards rushing last year.
Do you think that that's part of the reason why the passing game has struggled too, Matt? Because, I mean, at times we've had concerns about the receivers, some of the pass catchers on the team, and I still think that there's some question marks there. But the inability to consistently run the ball well, is that a reason why you're also seeing some of the struggles from Matt Ryan in the passing attack, because defenses can game plan for that a little bit? I mean, the Colts haven't really been able to put any defense on their heels, at least in the first half. They did have a run in the second half against Houston. They looked better, obviously, in the second half against Tennessee and then the Chiefs. But at least maybe consistently they haven't had that passing attack there. I mean, do you relate those two?
Well, I think the problem is, I think if you go deeper than that, is you're getting off to such horrible starts in these games. I mean, the Colts have trailed. They played 3 division teams so far, and they've trailed by as many as 17 points in all 3 of those games. And on Sunday they lost, or they trailed by 21 points in the second quarter.
Sure.
And when you're down 21, the running game sort of goes out the window. You've got to get back into that game, and you got to do it by throwing the ball. You don't abandon the run altogether, but you've got to be methodical. But predominantly, you got to get back into that game by throwing the ball. I think the biggest thing is, I think Matt Ryan has actually been pretty good this year when he's had time, when he's been protected. He's got 2 350-yard passing games so far this season. So it's not like he can't throw the ball. And it's not like the Colts don't have weapons down the field. It's just the lack of running game, and the under duress that Ryan has been under, with blitz pickups been poor, picking up stunts and text games and line games by the defense. That's been difficult for the offensive line so far. So actually, when Ryan's been protected and he's got adequate time to scan the field, he's been pretty good. But it's just complementary football has been a struggle for this team, and it's not like the Colts are just facing 8 and 9 guys in the box. I think the numbers at the line of scrimmage for the opposition defensively has been down compared to last year. So the Colts just aren't getting that push up front, and I think they need to be a little bit more creative in the running game. Where so far it's basically just zone, trying to wall people off, and that's just not working. Every defense is selling out to stop the run. Everybody's sort of psychologically getting up to prove they can slow down Jonathan Taylor after what he did last year. So I would like to see some more, direct runs with lead blockers, and, not having Jack Doyle this season, I think is proving to be difficult, because, he was one of those guys that when everything was sealed up on the offensive line last year, you needed one guy to sort of account for that unaccounted for guy at the last second. That's where Jack Doyle came in on whams, or being a lead blocker as an H-back, and just not having that this year, I think, is proving to be difficult for this team to duplicate what they did in the running game last year. So yeah, I think it's all of those things, but you just can't get down 17 points, 21 points every single week and expect to, have your game plan work. I mean, the Colts have been outscored by 42 points in the first half of games this season. That's by far the widest margin in the NFL. So you like, I guess, glass half full is, they're a second half team. They play better at past halftime, but glass half empty is, where are you to begin these games in the first half? Put it together in terms of a game plan and have more of a sense of urgency. And that's what the Colts are going to try to do tonight.